Dina from the Someday Society. This is my Paper Republic journal. It's in black leather. I think it's the Grand Voyager. As you can see, I got it quite chunked up from the end of September and then into October. And now we're going to try to fit November in the end. I used a piece of scrapbooking paper with a punch for a punch tab that I made. And then I just banded in this calendar, which I showed you in our last video, with a traveler's notebook rubber band. I like them because they're thick and they sort of hold things into place. This is my November 1st page, and I put down this big ink blob, and I sort of regretted it because it's so dark, but it's already down, so I'm going to make it work. And then you see here, these are my day-to-day page numbers. I created them on Canva, printed them out, and then I typically put them on sticker paper and cut them out so that I can use them on a day-to-day basis in my journal. I like to typically do a page a day because I think that that helps me keep up with my memories, keep my to-do list, and also just keep track of what is going on in my life. I try not to get too in-depth in my day-to-day planner, my journal, memory keeper, etc., etc. But it's just more like a positive thing so that I can look back and do art journaling and sometimes respond to journaling prompts. I sped through my cutting these out because, as you could see, it could get a little bit boring and tedious. I don't really fussy cut them close to all of the different ridges because I find that very aggravating. But I do cut them kind of close and then they sort of just blend into the paper, and it doesn't really bother me because I like the messy look of it all anyway. I speed through this part where I'm trying to peel the backing off of the sticker paper because it's quite a struggle. So if you identify with this struggle, please let me know. And pretty soon you're going to see that I'm using a rubber stamp that has stars on it. And I really like this stamp because it sort of makes it feel magical. And I put it around the leaf because I'm going to be missing the fall magic when it goes. We've already had our first snow here, which is November 11th. So about a week out from when I was making this page. And the little star magic stamp is from Journal as Altar. And I really love it, so I try to use it just to keep a little magic going. And then, of course, the distress ink is from Tim Holtz. And particularly around this time of year, I like that rust color. I also used my Someday Society stamp there because I was busy with Someday Society stuff that day. Next, we'll be journaling about what personal quality or mindset are you grateful to have, and how has this part of you shaped your life and your relationship. One of the qualities that I am most grateful to have is my ability to keep moving forward. I always say that even when I'm facing the most difficult parts of my life or the hardest struggles, you just have to continue to put one foot in front of the other. You don't have to make these big leaps into change and difference. You just have to keep moving forward. And sometimes that can be the most painful thing that you have to do. But I think if you stay on track and keeping one foot in front of the other, you eventually do get out of the stressful situation and things sort of right themselves. And a lot of people think, like, what other choice do I have than to move forward? And that's not necessarily true. Think about people that you know that just sort of stay stuck in the same patterns and loops all of their life. And they never really get out of those mindsets or relationships or jobs that are very stressful for them and cause them a lot of emotional pain. So just putting one foot in front of the other and taking one step forward turns into two steps, and then pretty soon you're looking in the rearview mirror at the stressful event that you didn't really want to face or you felt like you couldn't face. So even in relationships, I think one foot in front of the other is always really important. And I'm just wondering, what your personal qualities are that help you to identify yourself and the way that you react in relationships. So here you can see how I wrote it out. This is in the 30 Days of Thanks zine that I made. And thanks for watching.